Hi, I've got what I think is some good information, but it's kind of dry, so I want to get to it as concisely as I can. What I'm talking about is we did two very lengthy, in-depth presentations. One was 40 Smith & Wesson versus 45 ACP, and the other 45 ACP versus 10mm auto. The idea was that the audience could watch both of those and then infer a comparison of 40 and 10. Well, the feedback I'm getting is telling me that there are a lot of people out there that do not consider the 10 to be any more powerful than the 40 at all, or even if it is technically, not by enough to make any difference. So what I'm going to do today is shoot this Glock Model 22 in caliber 40 Smith & Wesson right next to this Glock Model 20 in 10mm, and we'll see which is more powerful. Now, I'm not going to shoot a bunch of different target mediums and blow a bunch of stuff up. We've already done that at length. I'm just going to shoot the chronograph, crunch the numbers, and see, is the 10 more powerful than the 40? And if so, by how much? I'm going to start with the 40 Smith & Wesson and this Federal American Eagle 180 grain full metal jacket. $1,023. $1,044. $1,016, $1,032, and $1,031. Now let's see how that compares to the 10mm with Federal American Eagle 180 grain full metal jacket. $1,051. $1,037, $1,041, $1,034, and $1,074. Now let's try a different brand of ammunition. Now let's try Remington green and white box, and we'll start with the 40 Smith & Wesson 180 grain full metal jacket. $953, $955, $955, $972, $960. Now let's see how that compares to the 10mm. Now we'll try the Remington green and white box 10mm with a 180 grain full metal jacket bullet. $11.22. $11.21. $11.22. $11.15, $11.33. But this is just practice ammo, it's just target ammo. Let's compare some real live carry ammo. Now let's try some personal defense ammunition. I know this is for personal defense because that's stamped right on the box. This is Federal Premium 40 Smith & Wesson 180 grain Hydra-Shock jacketed hollow point. $1,034. $990. $1,014. $1,022. $1,020. Now let's see how this compares to the 10mm. Now this is Federal Premium 10mm 180 grain Hydra-Shock jacket hollow point. $1,010. $1,019. $1,029. $1,024. $1,025. Now let's go crunch all those numbers and see what they tell us. Well, we've crunched the numbers, and here's our high-tech chart to show the results. And the question, is a 10 more powerful than a 40? Well, with our Federal American Eagle ammunition, we see with our 40 we get a velocity of 1,029, and with our 10 it's 1,047, a gain of 18 feet per second, not enough to talk about. But with our Remington ammunition, we go from the 40 at 959 to the 10 at 1122. That's a gain of 163 feet per second. And when you're talking about a pistol-length barrel and a 180-grain projectile, a gain of 163 feet per second is a lot. But what I really take from this chart is, you go up here to the Federal Premium Personal Defense Ammunition. With the 40 we get 1,016, and with the 10 we get 1,021. A gain of 5 feet per second. And it's still less than Remington's target stuff. So the real thing is two things. One, is a 10 more powerful than a 40? Yes, if you buy the right ammo. And two, to the people at Federal, come on, guys. And what you can really take from this is, there is a big disparity between 10 and 40 if you buy the right ammunitions. And I can't test all ammunitions. But if you're not careful about the ammunition you buy, you're paying for 10 millimeter and not really getting 10 millimeter results. So, caveat emptor.